Hey friends! Before we start today's heart-touching story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, because what you're about to hear will stay in your heart for a long time. Now let's begin. It was one of those ordinary afternoons when life decided to teach everyone in that cafe a lesson they'd never forget. The place was warm, filled with the scent of roasted coffee beans and quiet chatter, until he walked in. Tall, confident, and dressed in a crisp navy suit that looked like it cost more than most people's yearly rent, Ethan Cole, the billionaire owner of several tech companies, stepped through the glass doors. His watch shimmered under the sunlight, a limited edition Rolex. People whispered, phones discreetly turned toward him for pictures. But Ethan didn't notice. His mind was far away, somewhere heavy, somewhere lost. He ordered his usual black coffee and a croissant, then sat down near the window. From the outside, he was the image of success. But inside? He was hollow. His company was under investigation, his closest partners had betrayed him, and worst of all, his late wife's charity foundation, his only emotional anchor, was collapsing due to fraud he hadn't even committed. He took a deep breath, rubbing his temples. Just one peaceful coffee, he thought. Just one quiet moment. When the waitress brought his bill, he reached into his leather wallet and handed over his platinum card without thinking. She smiled politely and swiped it. Then the sound came. Declined. Everyone in the cafe turned. Ethan's eyes flicked up, startled. The waitress looked embarrassed and tried again. Declined. A flush crept up his neck. He pulled out another card, same result. Then another. All declined. For a man who'd never heard that word before, it felt like a punch straight to his soul. He could feel the eyes, the whispers, the judgment. Someone murmured, "Guess even billionaires can go broke." Another laughed softly. Ethan stood there, stunned, frozen by humiliation. His hands trembled slightly as he reached for his phone, pretending to check something. His voice cracked. There must be a system error. I'll call the bank. But before he could, a soft, trembling voice spoke. I can pay for you, sir. He looked down, and there she was. A little girl, maybe 8 or 9 years old, holding a few wrinkled dollar bills and some coins. Her shoes were worn out, her dress a little faded, and her small backpack had patches of different colors. Her eyes, though, they were bright. Everyone stared. The billionaire and the poor little girl. Ethan blinked, speechless. Sweetheart, you don't have to. But she interrupted, pushing the money toward the cashier. You look like you need help, she said softly. My mom says, if you can help someone, you should. Even if it's just a little. For a second, silence swallowed the entire cafe. Ethan's throat tightened. This tiny stranger, with nothing, was doing something no one else in the room dared to do. The waitress hesitated, then accepted the payment, a total of $7. Ethan couldn't say a word. He knelt beside the girl. What's your name? He asked, his voice thick. Lila, she said with a shy smile. My mom and I come here sometimes. We share a muffin. Ethan blinked back tears. Lila, he said quietly, you just did something people richer than me would never do. The girl giggled. That's okay. My mom says kindness makes you richer inside. He smiled faintly. Your mom is very wise. That moment, something shifted inside Ethan, something he hadn't felt in years. The noise, the humiliation, the pressure, it all faded away in the warmth of that little girl's gesture. The next day, Ethan couldn't stop thinking about Lila. He wanted to repay her somehow, but not with money, with something deeper. So, he went back to that same cafe, hoping to see her again. After an hour, she came in, this time with her mother, a tired-looking woman in her 30s wearing a waitress uniform. Ethan watched them share a muffin, cutting it carefully in half, smiling as if they had the world. When he approached their table, Lila's eyes lit up. "You're the man from yesterday." Her mother looked confused until Ethan gently explained what had happened. She gasped, embarrassed. "Oh, Lila, you shouldn't have." But Ethan stopped her. "Ma'am, please. What she did was extraordinary. You should be proud." Tears welled in her mother's eyes. "We don't have much, sir, but I've always told her we're never too poor to be kind." Ethan sat with them, talking for hours. He learned that Lila's father had passed away 2 years ago. Her mother, Maria, worked double shifts just to afford rent. Yet they both carried hope like it was a treasure. Ethan was silent for a long while, his gaze distant. Then he said quietly, "You reminded me of someone, my wife. She believed in kindness too. I lost her 3 years ago, and somehow, I lost that part of me with her." Maria reached across the table, her eyes gentle. "Maybe you didn't lose it," she said softly. "Maybe it was just waiting to be found again." That night, Ethan called his foundation team. He didn't just fix the fraud issue, he restructured it entirely, creating a new branch dedicated to supporting single mothers and children living in poverty. And the very first family it helped was Maria and Lila. Months later, the cafe hosted an event, funded by the new foundation, offering free meals and education support for struggling families. Reporters came, curious about the story behind the Lila Foundation. Standing on stage, Ethan looked down at the little girl in the front row, her same patched backpack, her same bright eyes. When he spoke, his voice trembled. "A few months ago, my card was declined. I thought I had lost everything. But a little girl reminded me what real wealth means, not money, not success, but kindness." The audience fell silent, tears glistening. Ethan knelt again before Lila, just as he had that first day, and handed her something small, a shiny new card. But this one had her name on it. Lila's card, Unlimited Kindness. She laughed, clutching it tightly. "Does this mean I'm rich now?" Ethan smiled. "You always were." As the crowd applauded, Maria hugged her daughter, whispering, "See, sweetheart? One small act of kindness can change the world." And in that moment, the billionaire who had lost everything found something priceless, a family he didn't know he needed, and a heart that finally learned to give again. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like, share, and comment below, because kindness, just like Lila showed us, only grows when it's shared. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that remind us how beautiful humanity can be.